So, spooky season is in full swing and October seems to be rapidly disappearing, and I must admit I wasn't feeling the month all that much compared to the usual. That was until I decided to have a toffee apple, which has truly set off the Halloween festivities in me, so I figured after watching a certain cinematic masterpiece, that bugs would be the way to go, you know, creepy crawlies and all. So, why not kick off the Halloween build-up with a couple of Beast Wars insect buggers, Kingdom Blackarachnia and Legacy Tarantulus. So right off the bat, these two both look superb. From what I can tell, both of them are almost comically accurate to the show models, the details and the proportions are on point. Tarantulus is appropriately broad and chunky, and Blackarachnia is tall and slender, and you can really see the shared design DNA from their original shared mold from the 90s. They both have spider legs sticking off their arms, weird stripy pincer hands, eyes on their crotches, and some other shared traits I don't feel the need to point out. Their heads are really great too. Blackarachnia is very well detailed, but the colour choices kind of absorb the details a little and make it seem indistinct. But I love Tarantulus's freak visor and pincer combo. It's very interesting and unique, and I can't think of much else like it besides maybe movie Shockwave. I suppose they're both supposed to be batshit crazy scientists after all. These two both have very similar weapons as well, these kind of, I don't even know what to call that bloody thing. And anchor, maybe? Tarantulus has a big old buzzsaw, which I have permanently gifted to Knockout, which is more or less because each figure struggles enough to hold their guns alone, as unfortunately both figures have some issues with their posing. All round, Blackarachnia has nice tight joints. Unfortunately, a lot of them are very limited, especially the hips, and she's missing a lot of essential joints for a lot of modern figures, which limits her quite drastically. Tarantulus, on the other hand, has loads of great ranges and specialty joints that are massively too loose to hold his weight in any pose. The knees, feet and thigh swivels are the worst offenders here. Getting him into action poses for my shots was an absolute nightmare. One thing I really like about the posing of both figures are the legs on their arms. That's a weird sentence. They are very simple to pose with just one ball joint halfway along each leg, but that gives you a lot of expressive range. You can do pretty much whatever you want with these spider legs. Those legs aside, however, these guys just aren't really that fun to do much more than look at in robot mode. The transformations on these guys are both very fiddly. Blackarachnia is especially bad to get things lined up all right. Tarantulus isn't as bad, but there's a couple of parts where you have to flex a little during the transformation that are just unpleasant. Spider modes are my favourite part. They both look great. Blackarachnia's doesn't hold together too well, but it really looks the part, and Tarantulus is extremely solid in beast mode. Once again, I find the legs way too fun. Tarantulus's are a little more limited because the base of the legs is rigid, but Blackarachnia is really expressive in spider mode, which is a lot of fun to mess with. The faces of each spider are pretty great too. Blackarachnia's is a little bit more compromised because of the shoulders under the face, but Tarantula's is clean and undisturbed around the eyes, and the mandibles in the spider mode are actually the robot pincers, which means you can get up to all sorts of hijinks with them. It's great. The spider modes also both have excellent weapon storage under the bellies of the spiders, which also keep the spider modes together more securely in some cases, which we don't see that often anymore. It's kind of a rarity. Out of the beast modes I've handled, which isn't all that many, these two are probably the best that I've messed with. They're concise, they don't have loads of kibble, they're fun to handle, and they have a lot of personality. Would I recommend them? If you love the characters, these are very good representations of the both of them. If you could only have one of them, I would say Tarantulus is the better figure, but they are still both very fun deluxes.